Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible stories in the Islamic tradition. It's a story so complete, so perfectly structured, that it's often called the mother of the Sunnah, basically the essence of the faith, all delivered in one single mind-blowing encounter.
So let me ask you this. What if the entire roadmap for your faith wasn't just written down in a book, but was actually taught to you, in person, by a heavenly messenger disguised as a man? That's exactly what happened in the Hadith of Gabriel. This wasn't a lecture. It was a conversation that laid out the entire divine curriculum.
So picture this. The Prophet Muhammad is just sitting with his closest companions, a normal day. And then out of nowhere, this mysterious man walks in. And you can tell right away, this is not a casual visit. This is the start of something big.
Just listen to the description from Umar ibn al-Khattab, who narrated this. The man's clothes are perfectly, brilliantly white. His hair is jet black. Think about the dusty desert environment. This is weird. He shows no signs of having traveled, but at the same time, nobody has a clue who he is. The mystery is just hanging in the air.
And it's not just how he looks, it's what he does. He doesn't hang back at the edge of the circle. No, he walks straight up to the Prophet, sits right in front of him, so close their knees are touching, and puts his hands on his thighs. It's the posture of a student who is laser-focused, ready to learn. But then, he's the one who starts asking the questions.
And this guy wastes zero time. He just gets straight to it. His very first question is, "O Muhammad, tell me about Islam." He's asking for the definition of the entire religion, right from the source.
And the answer he gets is all about what it means to practice the faith. You can think of it as the foundational blueprint, right? Islam, in this lesson, is the external framework. It's the actions, the duties you can actually see. It's the structure that holds everything else up. So, the Prophet lays out the 5 pillars that form this structure. It all starts with that core declaration of faith. Then you have the daily prayers, the social duty of giving charity, the discipline of fasting during Ramadan, and, for those who are able, that incredible journey of the pilgrimage.
Okay, and this is the part that must have just blown the companions' minds. After the Prophet gives this perfect answer, the stranger says, "You have spoken the truth." And everyone in the room was probably thinking, hold on a second, who is this guy? He asks a question as if he's clueless, then confirms the answer as if he's the professor grading the test. The plot is definitely thickening.
But he's not finished, not by a long shot. He immediately goes to the next level, deeper than just actions. He asks, then tell me about Iman. Now he's asking about the belief, about faith itself.
You see, if Islam was about the what you do, then Iman is all about the why you do it. This is the internal stuff, the engine of belief that powers all those actions. This is what a Muslim believes deep down in their heart.
And what the Prophet lays out next is, well, it's the entire theological worldview. Belief in the one God, Allah. Belief in his angels, the unseen world. Belief in his divine books sent to humanity. Belief in all the messengers who brought that guidance. Belief in a final day of judgment. And belief in God's ultimate plan and knowledge over everything, the good and the bad of it. That's the creed.
And then comes the third question. And this is the master level. This takes us to the absolute peak of spiritual awareness. The stranger asks, then tell me about Ihsan. We translate it as excellence, but it's so much more. It's about making your faith beautiful.
And the answer is just, wow. It's so simple and yet so incredibly deep. It's about living with this constant, real-time awareness that God is present. To act with the kind of perfection and sincerity you'd have if you could literally see God right in front of you, because you know with absolute certainty that even if you don't see him, he sees you. This connects everything, the actions and the beliefs, into a constant state of God consciousness.
So, after laying out this perfect 3-tiered structure of the religion, the visitor completely changes gears. He pivots to the future, to something no one can know. He asks about the Day of Judgment. This question changes everything. He's no longer just a student. He's testing the very limits of prophetic knowledge.
And you have to appreciate the Prophet's answer here. It is so powerful in its humility. He doesn't pretend to know everything. He simply says that when it comes to when the hour will be, he doesn't know any more than the person asking. It's a profound statement that this knowledge belongs only to God. But he says, while I can't give you a date, I can tell you about its signs. And the first one is really cryptic. It's been interpreted in many ways, but most scholars say it points to a time of massive social upheaval, where the natural order of things is turned upside down, and children might disrespect and command their own parents.
The second sign?
It paints this incredible picture of a world totally flipped on its head, where the poorest, most humble people in society would suddenly become incredibly wealthy. And what would they do with it? They'd get into these contests of vanity, competing to see who could build the tallest buildings. It's a powerful image of materialism and a sudden, dramatic shift in global fortunes.
And just like that, it's over. With those last words, the lesson is done. The mysterious man just gets up and walks away, leaving everyone in a state of stunned silence, just trying to process what on earth just happened. And the prophet lets them sit with it for a moment. He lets the weight of it all sink in. Finally, after some time passes, the prophet turns to Omar, the one telling us this story, and he asks the question that is burning in everyone's mind, setting the stage for the big reveal.
And there it is, the moment everything clicks into place. That perfectly dressed, all-knowing stranger was none other than Jibreel, the angel Gabriel. He wasn't there to learn anything. He was there to teach. By asking the perfect questions in the perfect sequence, he got the prophet to lay out the entire blueprint of the faith, for everyone there and for all of us to hear.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. This wasn't some random Q&A session. This was a meticulously designed lesson plan, sent from the heavens. It perfectly defined the three essential dimensions of religion: Islam, the outer actions; Iman, the inner beliefs; and Ihsan, the spiritual excellence that ties it all together. A complete masterclass in one sitting.
Which leaves us with a final thing to think about. This story reframes our whole understanding of faith. It's not just a list of rules, it's a living, breathing, holistic curriculum for life. So, knowing that this framework was delivered as a live, interactive masterclass from an angel, how does that change the way we think about learning and living our own faith?